promo video. This is the Rose Rand ROCKSAND Network here. We are doing our Foundational 40 and you guys still here?
Yes. Thank you everyone for coming on tonight. This is awesome. We have 37 already on our podcast. We are so honored and blessed to have the one and only Onyx Coale. I mean, for her to take time out for our team on a Sunday night when she could be bathing on the beaches in Florida, she's taking time for us. Did that make you feel special or what?
Yes.
For sure, yes.
All right, so let's fire up. You can unmute yourselves when you guys cheer too, by the way.
Yeah. So a little bit about Onyx. She is a single mother of 3. In the past, she and her daughters experienced the power of building an MLM. Onyx always ran from MLM until the babysitter's parents wouldn't leave her alone. She finally said yes to this amazing industry. In 7 years, she earned 17 million. Yes, that's million. Grew a personal team of 400,000 plus, and 50 people within her personal team became millionaires, all by consistently and persistently working her MLM business. In July of 2019, Kathy Rodriguez took a chance and called Onyx about X39. Onyx has been retired since 2012 and realized this opportunity was a 10 out of a 10. In her first 18 weeks of LifeWave, Onyx qualified at the top of the compensation plan as Senior Presidential Director. Onyx is busy doing it again, helping her team, and that's us, gang, to thrive in MLM, changing the world one person at a time with X39. While they experience the power of earning residual income. Onyx loves people and knows if she can do it, so can you. Onyx, again, thank you from the bottom of our hearts to give of your time, your precious time, to our team who is growing around the country. And now I heard around the world, we even have some in Australia.
Woo! Congrats.
All right. Let's make some noise.
Yes.
Unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Okay, Onyx, take it away, my dear.
Well, you tell me how to best serve your team. If you want to ask me a question you want me to answer, if you want me to talk about a particular topic, if you want to do a Q&A, how do I best serve each one of you?
Okay, should we start with Q&As? Anybody have a Q&A? Raise your hand and you will be unmuted, or you can unmute yourself.
Well, what I would like, if possible, to get started before Q&A would be just maybe to give your top 10, like I asked you that one time, what makes to you someone that's been so extremely successful in another network marketing company to come out of retirement to do this business. And we have the honor of being able to work with you after already putting a team together in another company of 400,000 people. It's just mind blowing to me. That fascinates me. Retirement is the reason some people are doing this. They would like to have a good retirement income. On our team, I know for sure, I've talked to a lot of people about, how can I get rid of my boss? How can I fire my boss? I want to be my own boss, So you've been your own boss for a long time. So
long, wonderful time. But even though I've been an entrepreneur most of my life, I got a 4-year college degree thinking I'd go out and get one of those fancy jobs. It wasn't until I found the network marketing opportunity that I said yes to last time that I realized network marketing is an amazing business and an amazing way to create residual income. But one of the things that I recognized as an entrepreneur, I never had a roadmap to wealth. And the neat thing about network marketing is that you get a roadmap, and that roadmap is doing the rank advancing. So you do this, you do this, you do this, and you go to the next rank. You do this, you do this, you do this, you go to the next rank. And I was like, this is cool. I finally have a map. I know what to do and I know how to do it. And therefore I know how to create success. in my own life, which was just beautiful, a beautiful experience for me. And when I sold my organization back in November of 2012 and retired, what happened is I had every CEO you can imagine call me and say, Onyx, we're going to send you here, and Onyx, we're going to send you there. And I didn't know who I was in the industry. I'm just some single woman from South Florida. And I said to all these men, gentlemen, I've been everywhere. If you guys want to show me something, you can come take me to lunch. And so that's what they did. They took me to lunch. They showed me their companies. They showed me their comp plans. They showed me their products. And I got a second education on the industry, really about the business of the industry, as opposed to the distributorship and building a distributorship. I learned about what makes a good company. And there's a lot of great companies out there. There are a lot of great companies. There's a lot of great leaders. It's just like in the school system. You could have a good school with an excellent teacher, or you could have an excellent teacher in a lousy school. It's really interesting how it works, but there's components, I believe, that make for a good network marketing company. And this is just my own personal belief. One, I think you need to have a product that's really interesting, that's unusual, that people can't find when they go to Costco. They can't find when they go to, Publix. They're not going to see it at Amazon. And so we have that with the X39. I think you need to have an affordable product. So a lot of MLM companies have a monthly auto ship, which is wonderful. I've got nothing against auto ships. I think they're great. And I think they helped all of us by building a residual income. So that means I like a consumable product, but they're not affordable. Sometimes it's $375 a month. Who can afford that month after month? So that was one of the first questions I asked David when I met him. I'm like, how did you pick that price of $99 a month? Because it's the perfect price point. Everybody can afford it. And so that is something I'm always looking for, is affordability. Then I like to have a market that everybody's interested in. So I'd like to describe it as, I like to stand in front of a stampede of people who want what I've got. And I just have to hold it up and say, I got what you want. I got what you want. I got what you want. And stem cells, to me, is that market. It's a huge growing market. People know what stem cells are. Most people can't afford stem cells, but they're intrigued by it. And it's not like they've never heard the word before. Like if I was trying to sell crypto, I'm not saying I'm for or against crypto. I'm saying most people would have to be educated more about a cryptocurrency before they'd be willing to do something with a cryptocurrency. Not everybody, but the stampede for crypto, for instance, as compared to stem cell, is much smaller here in the United States. So I like to have something that everybody's interested in. I also think that I don't want to be first. And I know that sounds strange, but so many times people call me up and they're like, Onyx, you could be the very first one into this network marketing opportunity. I look at them, I say, no, thank you. And they're like, what do you mean? And I say, I don't want to be a pioneer. They said, what do you mean? I said, I don't want all the arrows in my back. What I'm looking for is the company is established. And when I say yes, I think the sweet spot is between that 50 and $100 million. So I said yes to Kathy at the end of July, early August. And that was in 2019. We finished the year of 2019 at 78 million for the year, right in that sweet spot. The reason I like that spot is because you get a double from 78 to 150. You get a double from 150 million to 300 million. You get a double from 300 million to 600 million. And then you get a double from 600 million to 1.2 billion. So what I see is that curve of momentum is going. If you're a pioneer and it's a brand new company, it can do this for 1 year, for 3 years, for 10 years. It might be getting a lot of arrows in your back for a long time. So I like the company to have the marketing worked out. I like the company to have the website worked out. I like the comp plan to actually be working. So I don't want to be first, but again, that's just me. I also think that the reason the company that I did last time, we did $1 billion in sales in the first 3.5 years. It took Microsoft 5 years to do their first $1 billion in sales. One of the reasons that I believe we went so fast is we were a company of sampling. Now, it was a juice company, and we're sampling bottles of juice. When I saw this product, I was like, are you kidding? that little circle is the whole product. I can carry that a whole month's supply in my purse, in my back pocket, in my cell phone, even if I wanted to. This is amazing. I could put this in an envelope and share this with people. So I found the affordability, the easiness to share, the fact that I could sample in order to build a business. Photobiomodulation, which is just a big word for light therapy, I believe is cutting edge science right now. I've been into light, water, and magnetism, and I have a red light bed in my house. That was part of the reason why Kathy called me. She said, I knew you would know what photobiomodulation is, Onyx, and of course I did. So I know the power, or I believe in the power of light. And so then when I started to learn what David was doing, and that he had a 15-year-old company at that point, we're now 17 years, that he had spent $4.5 million and 10 years of research bringing this product to market. And then I researched the GHK copper peptide, was like, whoa, that's like great in terms of stem cells, but that's also going to reset 3,000 to 4,000 of our genes to a younger, more youthful state. Who doesn't want that? And then I met David and was like, okay, this guy is very different. I know a lot of CEOs. I have a lot of CEOs in my phone, but they're not like David. David's got one foot in the spiritual world and one foot in the scientific world. And so this company isn't really like most MLM companies. It's really almost a science company that is moving product in an MLM space. So it was very different. So I knew that the components that I needed were here to be able to set up a successful system to help people and change people's lives. Kathy, who had been on the product for 4 days, already had a major testimonial. And I said yes based on Kathy's testimonial. I never even touched the product. And I said yes. So I went through the, whatever I could find, which wasn't much back then, on the business, and said yes based on what I heard from other people. I talked to Dr. Joan, I talked to Dr. Nicholas, I talked to Kathy, and I said, okay, I'm in. And then I knew they had a 30-day money-back guarantee. So I bought a diamond pack and started picking up the phone and calling people I know and said, hey, this is a shot in the dark, but I think I found something really amazing. And then Kathy and I went to work building out a system that everyone could use. Because frankly, I left network marketing in November of 2012. Things have changed. And so some people like to build using text messages. Some people like to build using video. Some people like to build using apps. Some people like to build sampling. Some people like to build using Facebook. So it meant that I had to figure out how to set up something for everyone to use, because there is no right or wrong way to build your business. And for me, when I built a company last time, what I saw was a lot of people trying to make money on helping you all build business by selling you whatever, different things. And I personally was very against that. So I wanted to, with Kathy's help, and then with Peter and Marcy's help, I wanted to give you all everything you needed, all the tools you need to build business so that you could focus on money-making activities instead of focusing on, okay, I need to create this document, or I need to figure out how to send this text message, or whatever it might be that you're challenged with. Then it allows everyone to focus and to grow. And that's exactly what's happened. We are the fastest growing organization in the United States. And we continue to break rank after rank after rank. It's just beautiful. But more importantly, for me anyway, than that, this is a beautiful community of people. I have never been around such an amazing group of light workers that are really for each other. And so it's my honor to be here with everyone. And then, of course, we're blessing everyone, with this beautiful patch, which is changing people's lives one person at a time. So it's a win, 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 win for me anyway. And I'm really glad that you all are here. And now what it takes is just you all plugging in and doing the work, because network marketing is a contact sport, which means it's not going to build by itself. It's not an entitlement game. You're going to go out, you're going to work your business every day, just like I do. And, the system's very simple. It's contact 3 people a day, follow up with 3 people a day, and then invite 1 a day to the Zoom. And so when this pandemic started, Peter actually came up with the idea of doing the daily Zoom, which we do a daily testimonial Zoom, which has been huge for the business. It's just been amazing. And so you can jump on that. It's 30 minutes. We don't take any data on the call. So you can send your contacts to it. They don't even have to leave their house. They don't have to come to a meeting like they had to in the olden days. They can jump on it. They'll hear different testimonials. Each night is different. And many people in the organization, just by attending those Zoom calls every day, have built a very large organization because it builds their belief. It reminds them, oh, I need to think of somebody who I know who isn't sleeping well. I need to think of somebody I know whose daughter has anxiety. I got this person who blah, blah, blah. They hear stories and it reminds them of other people that are in their Rolodex for who they can call. And then lo and behold, they build a big business. So in my experience, network marketing businesses typically are not built in a day. It's possible, but it's not usual. And what I say to everybody is that you're in a marathon. You're not in a sprint. You're building your business every day, 331, 331, 331. And what you'll watch over time is your business will continue to persistently and consistently grow. So now I talked a lot.
That was an excellent answer. Wow.
Good.
I just wanted to throw out, and as everybody just witnessed who has not met you yet on our team, because I have called some people who said, can you please mute yourself, Sam? They have said to themselves, or to me, they've said, I don't know who that is. And so that is what I'd like to ask as the next question is, how do you get, as you're duplicating, and your goal ultimately is to duplicate. So I'm promoting you big time, but by the time I get 3, 4, 5 in depth, all of a sudden somebody doesn't know who you are. And that to me is a real problem, because I know the power of edification from previous network marketing experiences, working with the best of the best. And I'm really excited that, Rose and Randy had the relationship with you, that down to earth that we just experienced with you. I experienced that right out of the gate because Rose and Randy have that kind of relationship with you, that they were able to get you on a phone call with me right away. And to me, that was big time. I mean, you were like, seal the deal. I'm in. Let's go all the way. I mean, you motivated me in that call extremely. And I guess people maybe don't and I don't know why my screen is doing that, but I guess I'll just go like that. So I guess I just really would like you to share, how do you get over that duplication process where you see the bottlenecks where, wow, these guys don't tell their group. They don't explain to their group. They don't educate their group. They're not teaching, and the education has stopped. What are your best solutions to really developing a very well-informed team, a very well-educated team, a very all on the same page team? What do you do to do that?
Okay, so I'm going to answer the first part of your question first. It is not relevant to me that people know who I am. It does not make your business a success or not a success by knowing who I am. When I began setting this whole thing up, I didn't want this team or this organization to be about Onyx. I wanted there to be space for everyone. And I wanted there to be space for all the leaders, both as they start to come up and then as they, continue to develop, because this organization is only 2 years old. So the fact that some people in your organization don't know who I am, I think that is a beautiful thing. And hopefully they know who you are, and hopefully they know who Rose is, and hopefully they know that Marcy or Peter or Amy or Beamy, or it doesn't matter, or Sheila. There's so many wonderful people on this team. And so I didn't want to make this organization be about me, because it's not about me. It's really about X39. It really has nothing to do with me. I just have been a catalyst to be able to help guide, but I'm not the only one here guiding. I'm not the only one here creating, what has been working. Like, you're guiding your organization, Rose is guiding her organization, and we're all working together. It's a beautiful thing. Now, in terms of the second part of your question, which is really about educating people, I think that so much of that is up to them. So network marketing is a contact sport. And what does that mean? So for me, it means you're never going to build a business without picking up the phone and calling somebody. You're never going to build a business without texting somebody. You're never going to build a business without saying hello to somebody in the grocery store or at the restaurant or, you know, in Costco. You're not going to build a business unless you're making contact with people. The great thing about this group is that everything's here. And so all you really have to do is plug in. The question becomes, I can't get you to plug in, and Rock can't get you to plug in, and Rose can't get you to plug in. You got to want it. So I can drag a horse all the way up the top of the hill, and I'll be exhausted by the time I get to the top of the hill. But I can't make that horse drink the water at the top of the hill. So I learned a long time ago, I prefer not to drag anybody up the hill. I prefer to figure out who in my business wants to build business. Because in network marketing, you got to want it. And so the way I figure that out is a couple things. One, I see them plugging into stuff. Two, when I personally sponsor somebody, it's my belief that I go to work for them. So I never invite somebody into my business that I don't want to work with. Now, I'm a little racehorse and I will go fast, but not everybody wants to go as fast as me, or not everybody's timing is ready yet. And so my job, I believe, as the person who sponsored them, is to set them up to win and to be willing to move as slow or as fast as they want to move based on what they want for their business. In the same breath, I'm not going to let their lack of speed slow me down. So for instance, when I was younger, you know, and married, I used to say to my husband, let's go to the gym. And he would, every reason why he didn't want to go to the gym, you know? And after a week, I'm still sitting at home and I haven't been to the gym. And I'm like, okay, I got to disconnect my desire to go to the gym to somebody else's desire or lack of desire. And that same idea flows through to my network marketing organization. In other words, everybody I personally sponsor, I go to work for. But because you're moving slower than me, doesn't mean I'm going to move at your pace. I'm going to go at my pace until I find somebody that wants to run as fast as me, waiting for you to be able to catch up or be interested in catching up, that they want it. Now, everything you need, I believe, to be successful is here. If you're brand new to the business and you haven't gone through the training bot, I encourage you to do that. Let me see if I can put that in here. Chat, I think I can. So, see if it'll let me. No, it won't let me. It won't let me put it in. I'm sorry, Rock. So you should go through the training bot. That's something that Kathy and I developed. It's very simple. It'll take you 45 minutes if you do it all at once, so you can do it over several days. But it's basically, you have to have Messenger downloaded on your phone. You need to, it says a few words and then it's a video of me, a few words and a video of me. So it's very simple. But one of the things when you go through that bot, you're going to do, one, you're going to, it's almost like you're in the olden days, we used to have those 20-page booklets about how to get started in the business. It's really how to get started in the business. And it'll get you set up for receiving pay. It will also connect you to us on our team Facebook page, which I think is very important, because sometimes you're going to be faster than the person who sponsored you in the business. So it's awful nice to be able to join this great group of people and ask questions of other people that may or may not be in your group, but are in our overall team that are more than happy to help you. So I think it's important to go through the bot. From there, we have of course, if you haven't been to the startx39.com site, write it down and go there, because that should be one of your major prospecting tools. And then the other thing we have is the startx39biz.com. And you can go through that page. It'll take you a long time to go through that, but everything you need is there. I always tell everyone, don't get bogged down in learning the whole business. It's not worth it. The best thing you can be in network marketing is ignorance on fire. And so remember, I told you, I said yes to this business based on Kathy's testimonial. And then back in those days, 2 years ago, I ordered a diamond pack and it took 12 days for the diamond pack to arrive. I can't even begin to tell you how many people I had sponsored, never having even touched a patch. So once it arrived, I called David. I'm like, David, do you think we could have some 2-day shipping? Would that be possible, please? And so, you know, they put it in, which was great. But what I'm saying to you is that I didn't know everything. In fact, I had never even touched a patch, but I was willing to go out and speak to people. And when they had a question that I could not answer, I would say to them, you know what? I don't know the answer to that question, but I'm going to get back to you with the answer, which is a really good thing, you all. And here's the reason, good thing. If you don't know the answer, great. Then you leave, call, whatever you're going to do. If you're on call, you hang up and you call your upline, call Rock, call Rose, call whomever, put a question on Facebook. It's fine. Find the answer to the question, call customer service, whatever it needs to be. Once you find the answer to that question, now you know that answer, one. And two, you've now got a reason to go back to your prospect and drip on them again. So now they recognize you're paying attention to the question that they asked you. Not only are you paying attention, you found out the answer to the question that they asked you. So now they know you're serious about building business. And more importantly, you're serious about helping them be a success. So those are the tools that I use. I think those are as good as it gets, really. I think it's as good as it gets in this business. I have a friend who's $1 million earner in the past. She's been $1 million earner at another MLM company. We've never worked together. And she said yes to me in the early days and never activated. So she took a spot in the tree and, you know, used the patch a little bit and just life did whatever. And I, like everything, time and circumstances changes everything for everyone. So every now and then I go back through my people that are in the tree that are not active, and I'll send them that little, you know, it's like a little PDF, I guess, that has the different daily Zooms that that Marcy and Peter put on that are, you know, every night at 9 o'clock Eastern. And I'll send those out at 8:30. I'll send a little note. Testimonial call starts in 30 minutes. And I put that little thing, and I'll take 5 minutes at 8:30 at night and text it to 10 people. And you'll be amazed because probably 8 of them will text me back and say, I'm on the Zoom. I'm on the Zoom. I'm on the Zoom. I'm like, awesome. So it's a really simple way. So I did that with this girl named Deborah, and she got on. She's like, I'm on. And then she finished the call. She's like, that was awesome. And I said, yeah. So then she's the next night I did the same thing. Okay. To her and 10 other people. And the same thing. This is really cool, Onyx. This business could really build. Yes, it's building. That's what I'm telling you. We're growing like crazy. So then she does a little more research and so what is your prospecting site? And I give her the startx39.com. Okay. And then she goes to the Facebook thing and she looks at the bot, and then she calls me up. She asks a few more questions. And then she says, oh, I just found the startx39biz.com. Onyx, everything I need is here. And I said, yes, Deborah, all you got to do is start sponsoring, start interacting with people. So just like you, I'm doing the exact same thing. 3 people a day about the product, 3 follow-ups a day, and inviting 1 a day to the Zoom. So that's what I do to build the business. And even though I've been here for 2 years, and even though I got to the top of the comp plan in 18 weeks, I'm still consistently and persistently working my business. It never changes. That's how you build a big business. But make no mistake. I was in Jupiter, Florida this morning at the beach with my daughter. This afternoon, I was in Boca with my daughter, my mother, and her puppy. Tonight, I'm back in Key Largo. I'm living my life and building my business in the nooks and crannies. So that's what I love about this business. You will control your life. You will control how you want to do it. You just have to want to. You got to show up every day and work your business. You don't have to do this much. You don't have to do a lot, but you do it every single day. And so every day I'm working my business every day. This morning in Jupiter, that's what I was up there for. Networking with other network marketers to see who's there, see who's looking, interacting with people, blah, 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 blah. Just like you all are doing. Exactly the same thing. Another long answer. I'm sorry, Rock.
No, it was an excellent answer. And, you know, realistically, I can say that that was what I needed when I started to be able to have a fast start myself. I needed a system. I needed to know that I could do this on a very part-time basis, which honestly, a lot of the days in the beginning, and I told Rose, I said, hey, I'm really busy, and she was like, yeah, but this is going on and that's going on. She was being such a great promoter. And I'm like, I got a full-time ministry here. I got a lot of other things going on, but you know what? It all worked out. And we just started plugging into the system. And I want to thank you for that system. And the simplicity, the biggest thing I've learned from you that I've made mistakes on in the past in network marketing is keep it simple, because if it gets complex, your group will do nothing. And I really tried to, as soon as I started complexing it, and you might say, well, look at that guy's background. That's pretty complex. Yeah, it took me about 45 minutes to make the background. I really like it. But not everybody is duplicatable. You can't all make backgrounds like that. And before I didn't have any light. Now I got too much light. So now my face is like glowing. So I'm going to try to change my lighting again. Okay.
So I don't know, how come I can't type in here? So, because to put the bot in, it's a link. It's saying, who can see your messages recording on?
Dan says you should be able to type.
Not
Everybody else is, so I'm not sure why you can't.
I'll tell you what, Rose, I'll text you the bot.
Okay.
And then maybe you could type it in if that would be okay.
I will say for everybody too, along with the bot, that startx39biz.com, the section that's called the system very much mirrors what she's saying that's in the bot. Is that correct?
It's all very similar. They're all, because again, what I found is that everybody builds differently and life has changed. You know, when I was building the juice company, it was a lot more belly to belly. Facebook was around, but it was really just coming of age. Well, now it's a whole new world out there. And so you'll see the same themes through everything. You'll see the same themes. But yes, I would say you still, even though for me, I would still go through the bot because it connects you to the Facebook page, and you've got to be sure that you get yourself signed up to be able to earn income, which will do that as well.
Okay, Onyx, question.
Sure.
When you sign up a rep, what are the basics that you lay for a foundation for them to get started with?
So again, I like people to be ignorance on fire. So I don't want them spending hours sitting in front of a computer, learning the comp plan and learning everything. It's not necessary. The computer will figure out your pay. Don't. The most important thing to know in a binary is that everybody goes to the outside left and everybody goes to the outside right. So what I will do typically is I will give them some blank sample envelopes, blank meaning they don't have my name printed on them, so that they're able to start sharing. I will make sure that they patch themselves and that they're drinking water, and I give them the bot and ask them to go through the bot. And then once they've gone through the bot, the other thing that I do when I sign them up, you know what, Rose, I'll text it to you as well. I'm going to send you my intro text, which you all are welcome to use. And so the intro text has everything that this organization has. So let's see if I can copy it. Sorry. Select all. Copy. I'm sorry, you all. I don't know why it's not letting me text in there, but at least you guys are still getting the data. So I give them all of that, which shows them everything that they need to build the business. So if they want to go through things one at a time, they can go through it. And then what I do is I tell them to call me tomorrow. And the people that call me tomorrow, guess what I know? They're interested in building business. Maybe they don't call me tomorrow. Maybe they call me in 3 days. Okay, when they call me in 3 days, guess what I know? They're interested in building business. And so I work with them at their pace. Now, in network marketing, I find a lot of times people have different ideas about they want to do this and they want to do that. And I don't poo-poo somebody because you never know whether or not their idea is going to be the right way or the wrong way. Typically, the system that's been created has proven itself, and it's proven itself because we're the fastest growing group. But that doesn't mean that somebody can't come up with an idea that's going to work amazingly well. So if I've got somebody brand new, sometimes they have some ideas that are not from the system that they want to try to build the business. And frankly, I let them go that way. I call it letting a fish flap around on the pavement. And I let them flap around on the pavement for a little while. And after a while, they say to me, well, I don't know how well this is working. And I say, okay, Would you like to learn what we have found it works? And then at that point, now they're ready. Now they want to. Remember, it's all about you meeting them where they're at. It's not about you dragging them up the hill. You got to do it my way. You got to do it my speed. You got to do it I don't do any of that. No, they've got to find their own way. They've got to want it. And the whole time they're wearing the X39 patch. Now, many people just plug straight into the system and they don't buck at all. They're like, this is easy. This makes sense. This is smart. Oh my gosh, all I have to do is sample to 3 people a day, or all I have to do is contact 3 people a day. I can't believe this is so easy. Yes, it's that easy. Well, and then they overthink it. I've got to make it, I got to make it more. And I got to have, and I said, no, you don't have to do any of that. That's not necessary. Be ignorance on fire. All I want you to do is be sure to follow up with people. That's the important part of the 3-3-1. You got to invite, and then you got to follow up. You got to invite, and you got to follow up. And as I always say, you're learning to dance. We're all learning how to dance. I still have people that say no to me. I still have people that say yes to me. It just varies, just like you do. But in the beginning, you're learning how much is too many words, how much is the right amount of words, which way do I want to put the words in, what do I want to talk about, what is in it for them, as opposed to what's in it for you. And that's a huge distinction. When people learn that, to be able to hone into that, it's amazing what can happen. It's really amazing. And you'll watch your business will really just start multiplying. But it's a skill, and you don't learn skills. You didn't learn how to ride a bicycle in 15 minutes. Most of us, it took us days and weeks to learn how to ride it. We were riding with training wheels. And then once we got rid of the training wheels, we had a whole nother set of learning to do. And it's just like that with network marketing. But the neat thing is we're all here together. You're not doing this alone. We're doing it together. And it's a beautiful group of people. You all are in a great organization with great leaders, as you already know.
Thank you, Onyx. Who else has questions? You can unmute yourself.
I do, Kathy Hibbler.
Okay, Kathy.
Yes. Onyx, oh, I thank you. I love you. We all love you. Thank you for your help. All right. Would you please give ideas of how you run your follow-up call? I know we send them information and we call them up and say, what'd you like best? And you try to get to know.
Oh, we lost.
I have this, I have that. What do you use and how do you run your follow-up calls?
So everything, I am a girl who is disciplined, but not structured. So I'm different than most people. In other words, I will drink a certain amount of water every day. I will work out every day. I will, there's things that I do in my life that I'm very disciplined about. But in the same breath, I won't work out every day at 9 o'clock in the morning. So it varies. It's the same with my follow-up calls. It's the same, when people ask, so you have an elevator pitch. I don't. I practice listening really hard to people, because when you master the ability to hear what they're speaking about, it's very easy to then follow up, because they've already told you that they had tennis elbow. Okay. And you follow up and they say, how's your elbow feeling? Oh, Onyx, I hadn't even thought about that. You're right. The pain's gone. Oh, interesting. That's awesome, isn't it? Yeah, actually, I played tennis yesterday. I know these patches are just fantastic. Okay, have you been dreaming? Oh my gosh, Onyx, I forgot all about this. I had the most amazing dream last night. I was skydiving in Dubai. Wow, that's cool. Well, we all know that if you're dreaming more, it means you're sleeping better. So that's really fantastic. So I'm amazed you've been using these patches for 4 days and look at the results you've already had. You're right, I have had some amazing results. So corporate offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. I would really like to see where you're going to be at the end of 30 days and truthfully at the end of 90 days. The reason I like 90 days is because we found that collagen regrows in your body in 90 days. It's $2.99 for a 90-day trial. I think you're worth it, don't you? And most people say yes. Now, one of the hardest things about the follow-ups is you will often get a yes to the product in the middle of the call. Like, you're not done telling them everything you think you need to tell them in order to close them. You had them at hello, you know, they were already there. And so often we talk people out of the sale, and we talk them out of the sale because we're just talking, thinking that they have to have all this data to say yes. Many times they don't. All you had to do was listen. So it's just like when Kathy called me to ask about photobiomodulation, and I told her I knew what it was. And then she said to me, look, they want me to build, but I'm not going to build without you. And I haven't told them I even know you. And I'm like, that's fine. And I went through everything, and I called Kathy back the next day and I said, are you in? Now, she didn't proceed to give me a whole bunch of more data. I said, are you in? And she said, why? And I said, because I'm joining. And she said, you are? And I said, yeah, Kathy, this is a 10 out of 10. She's like, you're not calling corporate and trying to get some special something? And I said, no. I said, where did this product come from? She said, oh, it came from a chimney sweep. I said, really? She said, yes. I said, Kathy, do me a favor. She said, what? I said, call the chimney sweep and tell him he's about to be blessed. I want to go on his inside leg. She starts scratching her head. She said, what? I said, don't worry, Kathy. I'm building 2 legs. It's going to be great. So what Kathy did was listen. Did you hear that? She had Onyx, a big fish, right, on the hook. And I guarantee you, Kathy wanted to tell me 150,000 things about how great the company was and the product was, and her pain being gone, and all the money we can make and all the fun we're going to have together. And except she didn't need to. I called her sold. I was already a yes. So it's hard, but sometimes the people you're following up on are already yeses. So you've got to really listen. And I remember Beamy said one time, somebody called her up and she said, you know, I was starting to talk and they were a yes. And I heard Onyx's voice in my head to say, shut up, don't say anything else. And she's like, so I shut my mouth, Onyx, and I was quiet and they joined. And I'm like, of course they joined. Of course they joined. So it's a dance. That's not a specific time. It's not a specific way. Now that's for me. There will be other people like Beamy. Beamy is a high C personality type. So I know she's much more meticulous. Everything is done in a specific way. And that's what makes her feel secure and comfortable. And it's what makes her success. For me, it's about the ability to ebb and flow based on what's going on in life and what I'm hearing from other people. But I'm always listening because there's clues in everything that people are telling you.
So are you sending them videos or anything after the first call?
Yes. If I've spoken to them about it, either in person or on a call, or I have patched them, the next thing I do is send them startx39.com.
Mm-hmm.
I love that site. I think that site is fantastic. If you guys have been there, you need to go there. And I own the site and I don't collect any data from that site. So you don't have to worry about sending your contacts there and that I'm going to get your contacts or somebody else is going to get your contacts. So I use that site. The reason I like that site is it tells a little bit about the product. It tells a little bit about the science, tells a little bit about GHK copper peptide, talks about how to use it. So if you get somebody who's less like Onyx and more like Beamy, who wants to have more information, that site has got pretty much anything a brand new person needs to be able to say, yeah, this makes sense. This makes sense. And remember, everybody, they move from a no to a yes at a different speed. I did it overnight. Some people, it takes weeks, you know. Some people, they do it in 10 minutes. It varies. So you're always listening to where they're at. And I'm always about meeting people where they're at.
What do you think you say to them to get them interested or excited to go look at that site?
So they don't all look at the site. And I don't need them to look at the site to be successful. I just want that available to them if they're a personality type like Beamy, where they want a lot of data. That's where I want to go get data from. So I find that people sign up in this business because of your excitement, because of your testimonial, because of what went on. I said yes to Kathy because of Kathy's testimonial. Now, I looked at the business opportunity, but I knew what I was looking at. Most people aren't looking at this as a business opportunity to start. Most people are saying, hey, you know, I've got a pain in my knee and I've got tennis elbow and I'm not sleeping very well. Or like Rock said at the beginning, there is a massive number of people, especially women, that are doing everything they can to figure out, how do I stay home and not have to go back to work? You have that for them. All you have to do is listen to see whether or not that's what they're interested in, or whether they're interested in sleeping better. And I'm using that in a generality, but you can see everybody's looking for something different. And that's why I talk about what's in it for them. So I didn't need a Start X39 website to close. I didn't even need a patch to close. And back then, 2 years ago, we had nothing. There was no system. There was nothing here. There was literally nothing. We created all of this in the last couple of years. And so none of that was needed for me to see what there was. But again, everybody you come in contact with has different vision. They see different things. They've had different life experiences. They're looking for different things. And your job is to listen to what they need and position X39 and this business opportunity, if they're interested in a business opportunity, in a way that they can hear you and a way that they can say yes. Sometimes people aren't in a position to hear what you have to say. So sometimes I don't say anything.
Thank you, Onyx. That was a great answer. I appreciate you putting the system together for us because it makes it a lot easier. If you still have a few minutes, we have two people that have their hands raised, and I'd like them to be able to get their questions in. Super. Wayne, go ahead.
Yes, I have a question in regards to what would you suggest if your well begins to run dry? I signed up quite a few people, and then you kind of run out of people, I guess. I mean, there's got to be a course that one would take.
So I've gone after warm contacts. I go after cold contacts. I think you all have been hearing, I've been doing, at the start of this pandemic, I was walking every day. I started walking, and that was my gift to myself. And I was walking 6 miles a day. Well, this summer I was reintroduced to Bikram yoga. And so I remember I used to do Bikram a long time ago, 5-6 years ago. And I'm like, oh, I forgot how much I love Bikram yoga. So I keep going to Bikram yoga studios all over the place, in Indianapolis, and Rhode Island, all over the place. I was in Jupiter, Florida this morning, and I came home. I said to Chris, because we're going back to Jupiter for a wedding in December, I'm like, there's a Bikram yoga like 4 blocks away. And he's looking at me like I'm some weirdo, which I am. And I go to these Bikram yoga classes, and I'm meeting perfect strangers. What is that? They look at me. What is that? And sometimes I'll put the patch here, right on my heart, which is Dr. EMF's favorite spot. Sometimes I'll put it on the back of my neck. Sometimes I'll put it on the bottom of my foot. Sometimes I'll put it right on my knee. And people will often ask, what is that? And I say, oh, that's what activates my stem cells. And I turn around and I don't give them any more data. Guess what they want to do? They want to ask me another question. If they're asking you questions, you know that they're interested. And so when they're asking me a question, that's not my opportunity to throw up all over them and tell them everything I know. It's my opportunity to give them a short answer and turn the conversation either back onto them, or if I'm in the yoga place, then I'm just being quiet because I'm in yoga. So for me, I'm finding, and there was a long answer, but I find people everywhere I go. I remember I used to have a leader many years ago in Malaysia, and he would say, you walk out your front door, you look to the left, there's people. You look to the right, there's people. All you have to do is start saying hello to people. You'll be surprised how many great people you will meet. And for me, when I'm talking to strangers, I usually start with a compliment or I make them laugh, because I find when you compliment somebody or you make them laugh, their heart wall goes down and they're interested in listening to what you have to say. Now, that when I meet a stranger, the first thing that comes out of my mouth is everything there is to know about X39. It's a dance. So sometimes I have to dance a little while. And so, for instance, in the Rhode Island, I signed up the yoga studio, and the woman thinks I'm amazing. It cracks me up. And I go in there and I'm doing yoga and I'm listening to her, and she's talking about some girl that she's taking care of who just had a hip surgery. And after going there for 4 or 5 days, I came in with some X39 and I said, listen, I'm not sure who you're caring for, but I think you'll really like this patch. It's a stem cell patch. Let me put one on you. And I lift up your hair and I stuck one right on her. And I said, and here's some extras to take for whatever that girl is that you're taking care of that you keep talking. She's like, oh, that's my sister. I said, what? She said, yeah, it's my sister. She just had hip surgery. Oh my God, she's been such a pain in the butt. She's complaining all the time. Blah, 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 blah. I said, great. Here's some patches. Take some to her. The woman comes back into the yoga class the next day. I've been to 4 or 5 classes. She's a perfect stranger. She comes back into the class the next day. In the hot yoga class, she says to everybody, I am wearing this stem cell patch and I feel fantastic, you guys. I'm not going to believe this. And she starts telling everybody about the patch. And I'm like, okay, this is fascinating. I'm like, okay, we might want to sign you up. And she's like, okay, let's sign me up. So the next day we're at class, she signed up and she starts telling everybody about the patch and she starts texting them. Hey, Erica, do you want to hear about the patch? And she sends them the Start X39 website. Hey, Suzanne, you need this patch. She's telling them all in the middle of class. So a perfect stranger moved into somebody who put she probably put 15 people in the business in the first week just by being in the yoga class. So again, for me, I just wake up and I ask God to bring me the people that I can help. And they show up.
That's interesting.
I just noticed something with Rose and Randy. They've been such an inspiring, and I mean, I got my glowing face going on. I don't know how to get rid of it, but Rose is got no green screen behind her. And I just wanted to say this, and I think Onyx would agree. As long as you've known Rose, have you ever seen her look younger and better? I'm serious. Look at her face. I mean, it is just incredible. The collagen building that we got going on with this miraculous product. Rose, you look so beautiful. I just want to tell you that.
Yay.
Thank you. Not bad for a great Grammy. He's going to be 76.
You look beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Rock,
All
I
right,
agree. by the
Imogene,
way.
Oh,
you have your hand up. You can unmute yourself.
Okay, there I am. Hello, Onyx.
Hi.
Okay, I have 2 questions actually.
Imogene.
And the first one is when you said that, this thing activates your stem cell. And that's a short answer. And then what else, if they wanted to know, what else would you say at that point to keep it short, or would you explain something further?
I think that the less you explain, the more you leave them wanting more. So if you say just this activates your body's own stem cells, they're kind of looking around going, this little circle is going to activate my stem cells? This doesn't make any sense. They're probably going to ask you another question. And that's what you want. If you guys throw up all over them, give them all the data that they need, then they're not coming towards you. You've just thrown up on them. They're running the other direction. My goal is to get them coming to me. The challenge is sometimes they ask the question, the follow-on question right then. Sometimes it might be a day later. You got to dance. You got to be patient. So no, I wouldn't say a lot more than that. Now, they might come back and then say, how does that work? And at that point, I would say, well, this little patch is made out of crystals. Nothing passes through the skin, and it's a light frequency. And they activate the GHK copper peptide in your skin, much like when we stand in the sun frequency tells our skin to make vitamin D. It's exactly the same concept. Amazing technology. That's it. Now, what are they going to do? Probably going to ask another question, right? So now I'm in a dance with them. If I'm throwing up on them, there's no dance. I just stepped all over their feet. If I'm dancing by not giving them all the data, I have the data. And if I don't have the data, it's okay because I'm ignorance on fire and I'm going to go find out the data and come back to them. But I'm dancing. That's why I don't tell them everything.
Okay. Right, great, thanks. And the other question was, you talked about the chimney sweep, and then I want to build inside leg. I would like to kind of understand that whole concept about the building thing.
So that's a positioning thing, which for most people isn't relevant. For somebody like me who has a experience in the industry like I have, some people would say I want to be in this position or I want to be in that position. But for me, the position doesn't matter. I mean, you're in a binary. I think this is the easiest binaries, I think, are the easiest compensation plans to build because you're only building 2 legs. And you're going to get help from your upline in building one of the legs. Now, sometimes you're stronger than your upline. For instance, there are dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of leaders above me on my leg that have never put anybody in business below me. I didn't get any help. I don't need any help. It doesn't matter. I'm here to build 2 legs, 2 teams. And the reason that I said that I want to be on the inside leg is because I wanted to be able to stand on stage or stand in front of you in a Zoom and say, look, I went out and built 2 legs just like I'm asking each one of you to do, so that I'm in perfect alignment with my truth and how you build this business. So that's why it's a positioning conversation that's really not relevant. The relevance for 98% of the people is you're building a binary, which means 2 legs. I want you to build this easy, not hard. So don't build a Christmas tree, putting everybody in the inside and the inside and the inside. Don't do that. Everybody goes to your outside left or everybody goes to your outside right.
All right, thank you, Onyx.
You're welcome.
Just a wonderful call. You are just a world of information, and
Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here.
thank you.
All right, everybody.
Anybody else? So Onyx, some people believe in giving out samples of X39 and some don't. Can you shed any light or experience on that? Or I know it's a personal preference.
It's a personal preference. I do both. So I use the samples of X39 as something in my back pocket. In other words, it's the last thing that I go to. The reason it's the last thing that I go to is because corporate offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. So I think it's a lot easier and people are more likely to have the compounding effect because I'm not going to give away 30 days. And we know after 7 days, the blood work is actually changing. So I want them to try it. Really, I want them to try it for 90 days. You all heard what I say to everybody because I want them on for 90 days. And I tell them it's $2.99. I don't pussyfoot around, trying, it's $2.99 for a 90-day supply. I think you're worth it, don't you? And I let them know that they can get their money back, but less than 1% of the people actually call up to get their money back because the product works. So I use the sample. If I've been dripping and dripping and dripping on them and I haven't been able to get them to give this a go, then I'll give them a sample. So it's a personal choice. There is no right or wrong, just like everything. There is no right or wrong. Some people start with a text message. Some people start with a phone call. There is no right or wrong. Some people start with a sample. Some people start with startx39.com. There is no right or wrong. Some people start with the testimonial call. There is no right or wrong. So it's what works for you. And I say to everyone, it's like we all wear size 9 sneakers. Just because I wear these sneakers doesn't mean that's the best pair for you. Pick out the best pair for you. And it might be a little bit of this and a little bit of that, a little bit of the other, and that's perfect. I just want you to have the choice of all the different pairs of sneakers so you can figure out which one fits you best.
Wow. Thank you. Onyx, do you have a texting app where you can text out a group, but it only goes to one person? The question.
No. I'm not that technologically advanced. Kathy was that for me. And so losing Kathy was a major loss for me. And tonight, Chris and I were out on the dock and the Osprey was back tonight. And Kathy, came to my home and, we fed the Osprey together. And so I walked down the dock because I was in Jupiter, Florida this morning. I walked down the dock. I looked at Chris. The Osprey was sitting there eating a fish. I said, Chris, the Osprey's back. And I just thought to myself, Hi, Kathy. Miss you, sweetie. I miss her. I really miss her. Wow. She was great. So I lost my technology buddy because I'm not so technologically advanced. I don't have a background like Rock does. Not that good at it, but I have fun, and I'm working my business just like you are. 331 331 331.
And you're doing what's important. You're changing lives.
Well,
Does anyone else have any other questions? I think Gigi had some questions. Gigi, are you still on?
I am still on, but she's answered all my questions.
Oh, I know. She's so good. Looks like Wayne has another question. Wayne?
Yes, a very quick question. You talk about the 3-month supply.
Yep.
Do you recommend, if I hear you correctly, do you recommend somebody getting specifically the 3 months of the X39, or you recommend getting different patches, or exactly what do you do there?
I only do X39, and the other patches aren't great. It means that I know confused people do nothing. And I know that the X39 is the only patch that gives the body what it needs so that the body can heal itself. The other ones raise your glutathione levels or raise your carnosine levels, which are all great, no problem, but it doesn't allow the body to heal itself. I want people to experience the X39. If they're wearing 3 different patches, they don't know which one is actually making a difference. I like people to give it a 90-day trial because I know collagen regrows in the body in 90 days. And if they've given it a 90-day trial, 99% of them have had something shift in their body that they can now recognize on the outside. Because sometimes it works on something on the inside first. So even if it's just 30 days, I would say 70% after 30 days have experienced a difference. So, but again, to get that extra amount, and we know the collagen is really important. And for me, I'm sure you guys have seen the map of my gums after wearing the X39 for a year. The pockets in my gums went away. And so my gums used to bleed. My gums don't bleed anymore. I don't know any product on the market that can do that. I don't know any product that can do that. So every one of you is different. I'm not saying your pockets are going to go away. I have no idea what it's going to work on, because your computer knows what its weakest link is, and it's going to do the weakest link first. And that doesn't mean it won't get to the pockets, but it might not be in year 1 for you. It might be in year 2, or it might be in 6 months. Who knows? Everybody's different. I mean, look at this hair, you guys. I'm 55 years old. Look at all this hair. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible how much hair I've been growing. It's great.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So I am going to sign off. It's after 9, right? Yeah, it's after 9 for me. Build this business. Take it serious. I know that some of you may have had network marketing experience and some of you may not have. And it's not like I woke up when I was a little girl and said, I want to be a network marketer. I didn't understand what it was. I ran from it my whole life. But what I realized is that it's a beautiful business because it's a business that we get to do together. When you got a product like this, it's a business that's really changing people's lives. And on top of that, over time, you will build yourself a residual income. And I've never seen, as some girl from South Florida, there really aren't that many places that you can grow a residual business. And in network marketing, you can. So I would say, take this as a serious business opportunity, but be ignorance on fire. Don't worry about learning everything. You've got a great upline in Rose. You've got a great upline in Rock. They'll help you answer whatever questions you don't know. Just go out there and start sponsoring. Introduce people to the patch and watch your business grow.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you
Onyx,
so much.
Yes.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
unmute yourself and let's all thank Onyx so much for her
Woo,
time.
let's have a big
Thank
round of
you,
applause
Onyx.
for Onyx Coale.
Thank you, Onyx.
Thank you.
Thank you, Onyx. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Awesome. See you in Orlando.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. Thank you, Rock and Sand, for hosting this and doing all the technical part. We're family. Hi, Stella. Hi,
Thank
Stella.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you.
Yes, so glad you guys are all on. God bless all of you.
Thank you,
Go out
thank you.
this
God
week
bless.
and go share the hope, because our patches have the hope.
What
Bye.
is that? Rosa said
Night.
bye. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good night,
night.
everybody.
Thank you.
Good night, all.
Good night.